Hey guys, I just want to do a quick demo of my rudder setup on my Swift 3.2 meter X model. Uh, Oftentimes, a lot of people do things in builds, and then those things are just replicated again and again by other builds because it was the example that was initially set. So I kind of would here breaking with tradition a little bit, and I decided to do a direct setup. Um, and I had to figure out where I was going to install it. I decided to install the rudder in the vertical stabilizer, and both my rudder and my elevator will be in the tail. And I recently had some build experience with the elevator in the tail, and I liked it. For some reason, I felt a little more connected to the airplane because there was no slop. It's very tight, very direct. So for this airplane, I was gravitating towards doing it more of a direct setup. And typically what's done is a cable setup is done. The cables run all the full length up to there. Sometimes the servos are more towards the front to save weight. And you have to put a lot of tension on them, and some put tension on them directly onto the servo, and others have a closed loop system where the tension cable is on a separate arm, and then the servo controls that arm indirectly. So this, to me, is an easier setup. Furthermore, I think in high-speed situations, this setup would be less prone to flutter. Now, that part remains to be seen, but what I might do is put a little camera on the tail, do a couple of dives, and check it out. The only little mistake I made when I installed this is, for some reason, the rudder post just went in a tiny bit far, and I was having a little trouble getting this wire in, but I just had to do some sanding up here. This is also not the final wire. The wire that I'm putting will be a thicker wire, so it'll eliminate a tiny little bit of slop back here. So one of the only other things that I would say about this is, of all the things on this plane, everything is pretty robust. The only thing that's really seems like a little bit on the flimsier side is this tail. It feels like it could even flex a little bit right at this edge. So it probably is a non-issue, and I know you have to save weight there, but that would be my only comment as far as the whole plane. So at any rate, let me kind of show you how it works. This is its low setting. And also, I'm on a low voltage setup. We're not a low voltage, a lifey setup. So when I go high voltage, it'll be a little faster, but very smooth. And let's go to my high setup, high rates. And right now, they recommend, a few of the pilots have recommended rudder plus or minus 50 millimeters. I have about probably 70 to 80 millimeters, so I have plenty throw for good flat spins or blenders or whatever. Basically that's it. But I like this setup. The actual elevator will be the same way. The elevator is installed down here, and a push rod will be internal and push it up and down, and it'll be great. I think it'll be fine. So the drawback of this is if at any time I have to service the servos, it will be a much bigger pain in the ass. I'll have to cut out the rudder post and take out the servo, but the reality is with the quality of the servos that I'm putting in here, I probably will not have very many issues unless I crash the plane. So at any rate, thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions or comments.